Now is Texas Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Lance Gooden. Congressman, what are your thoughts on what you're hearing from Justice here? Obviously, you and your colleagues are getting stonewalled, and they're not going to get you any answers to your requests.
This is the same Justice Department that had no problem publishing photos of the inside of Mar-a-Lago. Remember, President Biden said this would be the most transparent government ever. And what we're seeing is a Justice Department that is continuing to do his bidding. They're taking up for this president and defending him. And the hypocrisy is not flying on Capitol Hill. We're even seeing anger from Senate Democrats as recently as yesterday. Democrats on the Intelligence Committee are furious that some of the responses that have come from Justice saying we can't show you these documents that were found. We just want to know across the Capitol, what was the damage to national security from what was found at Joe Biden's home? The same questions were asked of President Donald Trump. So why are we not asking the same questions of the Biden administration?
Well, that's right. There's also 1,850 boxes of documents at the University of Delaware, the so-called Biden records. Ted Cruz wants the University of Delaware searched to see if there are classified documents in that. And all the while, Democrats are holding the water for the DOJ. They claim they're going to take a hard look at John Durham's probe into the Russia investigation, again, trying to cloud out the real story and put more confusing comments around the John Durham investigation. Look, the bottom line is America has gone through this before. We've all watched the Durham and the probe into the Russia collusion story create all these fake headlines, and you and your colleagues were stonewalled. What are you going to do now? How are you going to get to the truth? Americans want accountability. We know all that you're saying. Do you have any power at all to actually hold them to account?
We do. You know, we're going to have hearings. We're going to have subpoenas. We're going to compel this administration to allow us to do what our role is, and that is that of oversight. You know, we talked about universities in Delaware and also Pennsylvania. I want to know how much money they've received from the Chinese. Some of these universities that are allegedly very secure in holding these documents, they're also taking hush money, secret donations from the Chinese. I believe those should be exposed and that they will be exposed. The House Judiciary Committee, as you mentioned earlier, we've got a hearing this week, but because the full House has not met to ratify the makeup of the committees, we are not able to issue subpoenas and compel witnesses to testify. That will happen in the next few days, which is why I believe this hearing that you'll see tomorrow won't be quite as exciting as a hearing starting next week. But I believe that House Judiciary Republicans, all Republicans in this House, are going to demand answers from Justice and across this administration. We want answers, and the American people want them as well.
Well, I don't understand really what's wrong with your colleagues on the left. I mean, why can't they get to work and start holding the Chinese Communist Party to account? Why constantly confused with Russia and all of these other things when, in fact, what you said is quite concerning? The amount of money that the CCP has sent to America's academia, the universities across the board, the way they have gotten inside the gates of America to steal intellectual property. I mean, are your colleagues getting paid by China too?
I don't know. It's crazy. You know, when Donald Trump was president, they were so furious about all of the things they were alleging, which ended up being proven untrue with ties to Russia. But the fact that the Chinese have so much influence in our colleges and universities and with government officials, and the Democrats don't even want to talk about it, is totally crazy to me. There was a time when they would have been outraged. If Donald Trump were president today and these allegations were being made, they'd be demanding investigations and special counsels. But we can't even get cooperation from them to allow us to do proper oversight and get answers to very important questions that the American people want answered.